G'day and welcome back to another Gelsoft edition. This is specifically for my Gelsoft channel now. There is a Gelsoft Oztrek Gelsoft channel. If you're on the Adventures channel, come across and subscribe to the Gelsoft channel. It's just about blasters, nothing else. And today what we're going to do is go through a couple of gel balls, different ones. You can see the size difference that's happening. Standard here, we've got the reds. Throw this away. We've got the reds. We have the tenacities, the AKAs. We also have some unbranded ones here, but these are by IDA Malls. I actually use these a lot. They're very good. So you can see the difference here. The beasts are another ones that I'm going through. So what we've done is inflated a couple of them. Oops, and don't forget the traces. If you're wondering what that is, when I open them, I just melt them back together. So let's get onto that one. We've got the hardened reds. Got war interest here. Good for FPS testing. I find when I fill this up with water, there's a lot of broken crystals and debris within it, and you have to drain the water a couple of times to get rid of it. Otherwise you have a few firing problems. But they tend to get a pretty good FPS out of them. We will be doing a chrono on them, so stay tuned for that part of it. We'll skip forward, and we're doing the crush test here. And so we've got the beads, we've got the traces, we've got the AKs, which you can see here are very clear in comparison, aren't they? And you've got the Beast Milkies. These ones here, no debris left in the water like the War Interest ones. They don't need any, so you can see the gels crushing in there already. I just think that that's very poor consistency. See all these, and I mean, don't get me wrong, they fire great. They're better for a tighter barrel or a tighter bore, like a 7.1. But anyway, what else we got? We've got this one here from, inspiration from La Guido. La Guido, big shout out to your chop shop, and I recommend anyone interested in any of this sort of stuff where you tear down blasters, La Guido is the dude to go to for that. But I do sort of have a version of his La Guido's measurement system. Anyway, it's just a bit of old chopped barrel through a bit of wood. You can adjust it, and if you set it between a couple of mags, it's a good height. So, without further ado, I'll put these ones away. And, sorry, I should say we are going to use a 5th control. These ones here, sorry, fourth control. These ones here are the IDA Mall ones. So I'll use that as the control and start with that one. Get a couple here, just so we can keep the consistency. And a pencil. Color pencil seems to be good. So we're going to start with our controls. These are our controls. And hopefully this works. So .6 1.8, 1.7. So these are sort of all over the place a bit. 1.9. That one definitely did feel a bit harder. These controls have been in the water for a little while. All the rest has been made up overnight. So 2.3. Okay. Now it would have been nice if they were all around 2.3. But we'll try something new now. So those my controls from IDA Malls. Now I'm using the harder beast. So let's see how these go. Those are the beasts. Like I said, I'm gonna do an FPS test on them as well. So that's enough for now. I'm gonna say these do feel a bit smaller. These beasts probably really nice for a nice tight ball. 1.7. Two and a half. .9. So 1.9. 2.4 that was. 2.3. 2.1. Okay, so I'm just going to try this one more time. They all seem to be a much tighter ball. 2.5, pretty much on the dot for that one. So if this is around that, I'm going to call it average of 2.5 on these, where the IDA more ones were average of about 1.23 at one burst under. So I'm going to call this 2.5. Cool, so that's the beasts. Excited to give those ones a good go again, because I've been using these ones for so long that I should probably really swap them. And you can see a massive difference in between the actual beads themselves. They look massively different. So I reckon we move to the AKA. Probably the one that everyone's coming looking for to see what the tenacities are like. They look clearer. It's the first time I've ever, well, inflated them myself. So these are, I'm expecting good out of this. Like 4. I've seen people crush at average of 5 kilos, which this only goes to 5 kilos, so it'd be interesting to see. Look how clear they are. You'd almost confuse those for clears. They look like a nice small bore as well. Straight through. Oh, there we go, and let's check it. 2, 3, wow, 4. On the first one, 4 kilos. Can't get past those ones, I don't reckon. Let's try that again. One and a half, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 4.2. That's pretty awesome. Three, 4.3. Three, 4, oh, 3.9. Second last one. 2, 3, 4.5. So this is breaking at an average of 4.2 to 4.5 with what looks like a really nice tight bore in it. So I really cannot wait to go sling these ones through my caravan. Nice. This is going to be perfect for the... Let's cancel it out with the pencil in it too, yeah. With the Kublai, which you haven't seen yet. Two, oh, that one too. Not impressed with that. They're allowed to have one defect in a packet, I suppose. Two, 3, 3.9. So anywhere between 3.9 and 4.5 kilos is your AKA Alpha King tenacities. These things are definitely worth spending the little tiny bit extra that you have to on a decent gel ball. I really do recommend that one. Like, I'm super impressed with that. Just as a comparison, again, I will try the control back through it. That was the IDA More ones. And I will throw another Beast one through it as well, just to check it. Larger bore. These ones have been soaking in the water for a bit longer though. And look, 1.7, that's really down on it. You know, I'm not even going to try that one. Oh, okay, you convinced me. One more for the control, right? .8. Okay, these really do hurt when they hit though. I can't wait for these ones, the AKAs. All right, let's try another Beast through it again. Really good value. They're great value, and they do seem to be a slight tighter ball. They're your typical milky. .5. These have only been soaking overnight, or not even overnight, like 4 hours, sorry. And then I drained them out and using them now. So yeah, look, 1.2. It's like the IDA Malls is winning this battle. But if you're going to throw like rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds through it, and you're not 1,000,000% cracked on accuracy, can't go wrong with it. 1.3, 0.4, we'll go on 2. So the Beast's pretty inconsistent with your crushing. The IDA More one, much more consistent, and yeah, it actually averages a little bit higher. So now I'm going to try something that I've been waiting for a while, which is the Milky, of course, Traces. And I do have a couple of cool things. So we could actually put them through some tracer mags. I didn't really put enough in here. I only did this for a quick crush test. So we really could put this through the HK. Right, so one that I've been actually very keen on checking out is the tracers by War Interest. Very keen on checking it out because I do have the tracer mag here, which why not, we'll do a little unboxing, unwrapping. Beautiful HK mag, of course, and tracer. So there is the light which runs up this side of it here and illuminates them as they come out, like this does. Cool. And if I turn all these lights off, which I will later, and we'll have a bit of a, well, no, well, we'll have that many shots. That's how many shots we'll put through this. Not many at all. But yeah, when you turn this off, they will illuminate and they will glow for about 30 seconds, 40 seconds. So what else we have too, which is interesting, is this one here, the Oztrek lighter, which I think is really cool because check out this. Double whammy. I was expecting that when it came to the gel balls. So we'll switch in here, turn the switch on. We've got a little light that glows in there. And let's try this for the first time. I actually might, oh, can I line that up there? Oh, cool. Look at that. Made for it. So we've got the little glow in the dark tracers here. If anyone can see that on the inside there, they're glowing. So I'll let these out my hand here and you'll see them flash. Sort of glow anyway. So as they fall through, you can't see it because they've got too much light going. They do give a quick light flash, comes out and glows out the other end, just like that. Very cool. I cannot wait to see a stream of these fly out. Works pretty good. Haven't even put a charge in that, obviously. It comes with the 14 and the reverse on it as well. So find something to fit that one too. But the HK is sorted because the HK has its own lighting system powered off the actual unit itself. And I think that's what we'll be giving a blast a bit later. So right now, what we're gonna do is get these ones tested really quickly so we can get some FPS testing done on it. Look like a slightly larger bore than the others. And one, oh, okay, 1.9. Call that. Uh, 1.3. These ones don't seem to be very consistent, but they're pretty, so we don't care. And they accurately show your hits, which is what I like. 1.6 that one was. I'm going to give it a couple more. Just don't want to waste these, because these are clearly only about as good as the Beasts in equivalent. 1.8. 7, I'll call that one. I'd say about the same again. .5. So look at this. Right, let's just try the tenacity through it one more time. We'll put 3 through it and we'll see if we can't get, say, 3 consistent runs. Because if this is the case, this is all I'm going to use from now on. They're a really nice tight bore. 4.5. That's amazing. .9. That's still incredible. The lowest runs I've had with any tenacity was 3.9 so far. .6. Crush. Now, we said we were going to do it, so we're going to do it. We're going to put the reds through it. The War Interest heavier reds. Version 3.0. So these aren't the red ones that have the milkies in it, clearly. These are a type ball, like I said. They do work better for FPS testing, which I'm assuming all these other ones will as well now. But, whoa, what's his 2 point? Oh, very nice. Up near 2.5 kilos, which is very impressive. Seems like these clearish ones, the winners. The reds is pretty much what I've been running lately. 2.6, said 2.7, but .4, 2.5. .5. These are very consistent. There's just a lot of doofer in it. Like when you mix it up with water, it looks like one of those aloe vera drinks on the inside. So I just flushed it a few times. And there's a lot of inconsistent, like broken gels that are in there, just somehow from the get-go, when none of the others are. All the others are really clean water around it and just balls. So 2.3. And the last one. Extremely impressive from the reds. Extremely. No, that was a 1.8. So the reds are really coming in a solid second contender so far for the Alpha, aka Tenacities, and the Alpha Kings, which are slightly clear as well. So the two clearish, heavier ones are the two absolute contenders so far. I'd say your glow-in-the-dark traces are definitely on par with what comes from the IDA Malls group. Not too bad. Very, very, very similar. Actually, gross size is similar, and timing wise is similar also. You can see I don't have one of these in there, but you can see the size of these. I should put it next to it. Not a very good comparison, but they're sort of similar. Actually, the glow-in-the-darks are a little bigger, aren't they? Alright, we're back in the daytime to do a little FPS test with them. I'm going to use the War Interest Reds. Like I said, they do have a couple of blemishes in these things, and I'm not entirely impressed with that factor of it. Although they do seem to crush around 2.7, and they seem all around harder than these ones, except for the AKs at about 4.5 average, and very consistent and very clean looking gels there as well, except for that bit of grass on there. But yeah, so we're going to throw that through this chrono. You can't see this chrono that well, and I'm sort of sick of looking at these screens, so we're going to look at it through this one here. And first I will throw, and I'm going to use the Beretta. It's the M92, as it's just the lowest power one at the moment, so at roughly 145 FPS. on average, but we'll check that right now. I'll put one clip through each. Now if you've never used a M92, you hold this button down in here and it'll auto feed. Just give it a shake. Hear that? That's the auto feed. And cool. So there was a couple of stuck ones in there from not clearing it out properly. So I'll try and put this one here, and I'll put this one here so we can see it, and I'll grab an average of it quickly. 132. Press that button again and it will go to semi. Alright, so I'll take it to a quick average. Oh, this one here is actually very low today. Max of 246, which has got to be fake, and a low of 108. Yeah, look, 119 we've got on that. This does shoot a little bit higher on average. We'll try that one more time for the control, just so I know it's not the blaster. The gels, like I said, there is a lot of inconsistent gels in these things, in the red ones specifically. Cool, and let's try it again. $160, $153, $144, $155, $160, $148. Yeah, see, $135. It does average around 135. This does have the DK hop up on it. Shout out the Tack Edge boys for getting that one for me. That's awesome. It really does work well. So let's empty this clip. Cool. Alright, average 160 there. Let's quickly swap it out and let's try the traces. We don't have many traces to go in, so hopefully we get a result off this. Otherwise I'll be making more up very soon. I'm interested to see what FPS these pump out on average through a very mediocre, sort of, well, pretty mediocre, but mediocre power. It's a cool blaster. Oh, 172, wow. Look at that. 144, 143, 144, yeah, 146. I should be putting that on single because it would be better. Yep. Alright, so look, average of, actually it's very similar indeed. Average of about maybe 140. I'll go a bit lower and say 135 for it. If I hit the mix on this whole lot here, it's going to show, yeah, look, average of 140. That's a lot of it though. So what I should do is I should have turned that off and reset it. But I'm going to put the beasts through it. Then I'm going to put the AKA Alpha Kings through it, the Tenacities specifically. I should get some different Alpha Kings soon, but just to test them. But I know the Tenacities are great. So, oh, still got a little couple of glow in the dark ones, traces in there. Oof, okay. Let's hold this up so we can see it. It's pretty consistent around the 144 mark. 156, 149, 151, 134, yeah, 156.7, 149. I'm going to call, actually, 151. I'm going to call the beasts, funny enough, a slightly faster shot. See all the broken ones that are in there? That's why you get a lot of inconsistent fire. I think War Interest could really pick their game up there, because look at the alphas, they're all perfect. So long overdue. Let's get these alphas in here, and I'm actually going to put glasses on because these things are going to bounce back. Cool. Lovely. Nice feed sound in there too. And 135, 141, 127 before that, 146. Oh, it's pumping holes straight through it. Look at that. Now this is pretty thick cardboard and it's wet. So that one there is because of the gels hitting it, but these ones up above it, they're one single shots just from Gen 9. That pumps, that's a good blaster. But just a really long barrel gives it nice FPS. But that's why I'm using this as a control. 152. You can see that. 144. I would like to do a quick hole test as well. I'm gonna have to hold this one up there. Wow. Yeah. This is actually pretty hard to break through, and all those bounced clean off it. Let's do this for the rest of them. 144, 125, 134, 153, 165, 155, 160. And I reckon we'll just pump some more alphas through it to get a last consistency check. But the alphas seem, I don't know, fairly all over the place with a couple of low fires. That could be blaster inconsistency. But the thing is that these things are going to fly further. These are going to hit a lot harder and they're going to be a lot more fun. And they don't cost much more. They're worth the investment if you ask me. Cool. And let's check it again. See, the 129, 134. Yeah, these have a lower FPS. But then there's a real freak one that comes out at say 145. But see, these were hitting around 160. I have got a 190 out of them. Freak shots. 245, but that's fake. 160. Yep, and we're out there. Hang on. Yeah, we're out there. Cool. So, in my conclusion, I say that you're going to get... This is a very cool little app too, by the way. I'm just trying to think. You can get a graph on it, if I can find the graph for you. I suppose this concludes a ball crushing test. I will be doing more. If you are interested, I will go through all the other ones, but I was mostly interested in the AKs, to tell you the truth, and the blotchy War Interests, which seem to have a higher crushing power than the others. And yeah, look, I still recommend them. Just, they're okay. Go through them. They're okay for FPS testing, and they're not too bad for a bit of gameplay, but I'd really be putting these AKs through my good ones just to get the best results from them. The beasts were very consistent. The beast ones, very, very consistent, and the control that I did use to start with from the IDA mauls was pretty consistent as well, but at a lower FPS. So, but that's just because those gels were a little bit fatter and having a little bit more struggle getting through the actual barrel size itself, where the AKs and the beasts and stuff like that are a little tighter bore, and they just you know, fly through real easy, real slippery. So I do recommend something with a tighter bore in it that will fly a lot smoother. Unless you've got a blaster that's got a little bit of oomph behind it and it's going to really throw that gel. But yeah, I'm so glad that you've tuned in for this episode. This is a great little chronograph, by the way. The chronograph with the application on it is a really cool app. I do recommend it, and I love the fact that it brings up the history and graphs and stuff like that, and you can actually set the weight for the balls. So if you're weighing them with some jeweler scales or something like that, you can actually dial everything in 100% perfect and get your desired effect out of it. I really should have done that, and I'm sorry for letting you guys down. Hopefully we'll get some more testing happening for you. I'll be going through a lot more blasters. I'll be doing a lot of reviews. I've got 2 good reviews. I will be doing a review on this one here and an unboxing on it as well. At the moment, clearly it's unboxed and it has a hop up on it by DK. Little 3D printed one. And it's only the top hop, but I like it. It really works well. It hops it up great. It gives a great distance, and this thing actually performs really well. It's a nice little side piece to take with you. And so I'll be going through an AWM very soon. And what else have I got? I've got a really nice Kublai, which you might want to hang around for. So this is all coming in future episodes. Peace, love, and catch you on a gel field.